Real-time strategy games, a wonderful experience, what I consider in my opinion to be the best gaming genre there is. Growing up playing strategy games since I was a child, from Command & Conquer to Age of Empires, and a lot of other strategy games that were on the family computer before we had an internet connection. Like seriously, can anyone explain how these games ended up on the computer before downloading games was a thing? Anyway, if you've been following strategy games, you would know that in the late 2000s the AAA studios abandoned this genre, focusing more on loot boxes and releasing the same game with a different number. Yes, I'm talking to you, EA. Well, at least they don't have problem with the modding, unlike Rockstar Games. Anyways, the indie game industry start reviving this genre, and some of the releases are great and we cover them on this channel. But also with indie development you would know that there is a smaller budget, a smaller team, and sometimes the quality can be pretty bad. Welcome to Reconquest, the worst real-time strategy game I ever got to play, setting the bar even lower than Command & Conquer 4. The game takes place after a massive gas explosion during World War III, where the atmosphere was so intoxicated that people had to stay in shelters. But later on, people got out of their shelters and went back to the surface trying to build a new society, using gas as a valuable resource for their industry. Wonder where I've seen something like that. Starting with the whole thing, there are 3 game modes: Skirmish, Campaign, and Trapped. Well, Skirmish is pretty much self-explanatory, the campaign as well. Trapped is a game mode where you have like a small base and the enemy have like 700 bases and you end up winning anyway. So there are 2 teams, each having 10 campaign missions. The first team is called the Urban Forces and the other team is called the Outlaw Clan. But I'm just gonna call them GDI and Node respectively because that's what they want to be. Starting with the infantry, you have the Rifleman Squad, Missile Squad, Sniper Squad, and the Homing Missile Squad. They didn't even try to change it up. And for the tanks you got a Scout, which is a Raider Buggy, a Defender, which is a Pit Bull, APC, which is the APC, a tank and heavy tank, which is supposed to be the Predator. You got the Goliath tank, which is a Mammoth tank, Ghost tank, which is a stealth tank, artillery tank, which is equivalent to the Juggernaut, and the other team have the exact same thing with different names, but instead of the Ghost tank you get a Kamikaze tank, which is a tank that blows itself off. Yeah, and also for the infantry, instead of a sniper squad, you get a kamikaze squad, I think. And it's the same thing, it's a guy that blows himself instead of a sniper. After playing this game for a couple of hours, you realize that this game is so symmetrical that it makes you wonder if there's something wrong with your mirror reflection. It's like this game took Command & Conquer Tiberium Wars and turned it into crack and cocaine gas farts. Moving on to the cutscenes, it's in a comic style, and that's acceptable since it's an indie game. I wouldn't expect Tim Curry to come out and tell me about capitalism in space.
I'm escaping to the one place that hasn't been corrupted by capitalism. Space!
Once you start playing the first mission of any of the teams, you realize that you'll have some objectives on the top left corner of the screen, but then you realize there's something important that's missing. And that's the tutorial. The game doesn't teach you anything about the game, it just throws you into the mission and tells you destroy everything. By the way, this game reuses the same cutscene for the first mission. So if you play the first mission on either team, you'll get the exact same cutscene with the exact same people telling you the exact same message and the exact same dialogue. And if you think reusing cutscenes was bad, let me tell you something. Every single mission in the campaign is reused in the other team. So for example, if you play mission 7 in the GDI, let's say you start at the south of the map and the enemy starts at the north. Let's say you decide to play mission 7 as the other team. So you're gonna start at the north and the enemy will start at the south using the exact same map. I just used mission 7 as an example, but it literally applies to every single mission in the campaign. Let me tell you a fun fact about mission 6 for both teams. You don't have to destroy everything, you just have to destroy one building and you win the mission. Which you would say the mission was difficult, but no, it literally takes like 7 minutes by max. And one tip, don't ever use infantry in this game. And let me explain. So in a normal real-time strategy game, you would know that units that have rifles are good against infantry, units that have rockets are good against tanks, units with cannons are also good against tanks and buildings, but not in this game. That's because Reconquest lacked the game mechanic on which different weapons do different amount of damage to certain units. So instead of rifle is good against infantry, it's just like rifle do little damage, rocket do more damage, cannon do the most damage. So if you ever play this game, just make sure to get the most expensive tank with the most rocket upgrades and cannons and whatever you can do, but never rifles. The same goes for the defense buildings, so anything that shoots bullets in this game is useless. The game also has some animation glitches where buildings and units clip into the world and then go underground for a moment, and sometimes they don't go up again, and sometimes they start dancing or something. Like, I don't know what's wrong with this game. Like, as you can see here, my silo, which is the same thing as silo from Command & Conquer 3, is clipped through the wall. As you can see, there's right next to it another silo that is properly built. The same thing here you can see with the refinery that happened again. And did I ever tell you that tanks can't run over infantry? It's not a very big thing that bothers me, but when you're like some tiny person and then some mammoth tank comes at you and then it can't run you over, you know, it makes me wonder about the laws of physics in this game. And after playing this game for hours on end, I just realized that you can actually rotate buildings using Q and E. You can't press shift to produce 5 units at a time, and you can't heal your infantry. However, I thought there was no way for you to repair your tanks, but lo and behold, I found a way. So if you get a war factory and you click on it, you'll find in the bottom of it there's a button that has a tank with a wrench on it. So when you click that, you buy an upgrade for 2000 and you can only repair 1 tank at a time at the speed of a turtle running in mud. So instead of spending money on that upgrade, I'll just lose your tank and get another one instead. You know, it's a better return on investment in my opinion. Remember that thing, trap mode, that I talked about earlier? It's either one of two things. You start with an MCV and like a few tanks and the enemy have like 3 bases already, or you'll have a good sized base but the enemy is literally attacking you from the beginning and you don't have a lot of things to defend yourself with, so you're gonna lose some of that and then you're gonna have to destroy 4 other bases of the enemy. But it's fairly easy. I've never faced any difficulty doing these trap mode missions, and I would have gotten all the achievements if it wasn't for the game getting repetitive too quickly. In conclusion, the game does capture the essence of a base building strategy game, but with all of these animation glitches, the lack of a game tutorial and game mechanics, the game being too symmetrical, the game is not dynamic by any stretch of the imagination, and for the price of $12, I'd suggest that you would go and buy Command & Conquer the Ultimate Collection from G2A or any other website that sell it for a cheap price, and you'd get 17 great classics with much more enjoyable experience. Actually 16. We all know Command & Conquer 4 was trash. Even Joseph Koken, the actor who played Kane, does not remember Command & Conquer 4.
Kanomancer asks, a big part of the community don't see CNC4 as a proper sequel in the Tiberian series, and it shouldn't be canon. What are your thoughts on this?
I don't remember CNC4. I don't. Is there a CNC?
No,
I don't recall.
Actually not.
I never found it.
I wish I could answer that question. I just don't. I have no. I don't.
Must be a mistake. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. It's our fault. Yeah, it's our fault.
Yeah, you guys are making shit up now. That's like, I thought I was the one who was the liar, but I don't remember.
I have suffered hours playing this game, so if you're still watching, I would kindly ask you to subscribe to this channel. Although I might not get my time back, you can help me get this channel monetized and support me to make more videos. And that's about it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.